listened to was black and orange and covered in new residue. It's me coming out the jungle, laying down a gank or two. After I dab you on the tower, doing dragon, steel, and blue. Try to chase me down and run into my jack in the box. Duke you out your socks, hot up the blocks. I got you falling like the bear market stocks. The joke's on you. Did you even read the Ramstein interview?
I jungle so fast, I can do dragon on both maps. Leave you hot and cold like the water from both taps. Get you so mad, now you're typing in all caps. I'm filming this new, gonna get it all on craps. Warwick was born in the jungle, being his since day one. Life stealing on my own, don't need no potions. Running at you from the bushes like it's slow motion. I like it when they turn tail, it's only fun if they run.
Welcome to the jungle.
What's the matter, little Carrie? You look a bit lost.
Why don't you let us help you find your way back to base?
Does this taste a bit ashy to you?
Yo, J4, what up, your highness?
Xin Zhao.
Hey, it's X to the Z, man.
I am very disappointed in you.
Why, what'd I do?
I can't believe you started a rap career and forgot to include me.
Oh, hey, man, that was all Sona. I was like, let's get J4 up in here, and she was all like, pling, 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 strum, strum. What?
Let me show you how it's done.
Where'd that microphone come from?
J to the A to the R to the V to the A to the N. IV, noob, that's what you'll be putting in. Cause even if you can't eat, you still need to get nutrition. Either that or pick your job. Why is it on the floor again? Oh yeah, it's cause I walk by. Being near me pops your banshees fail. Riot hotfix me so I could not get ulted on by Kale. I'm so fly, Koki and the Nivea looking up at me. I spend my free time kicking with Earth the Manatee. Oh, did you know I pop wheelies on a unicycle? If the league was the NBA, then I'd be Jordan, Michael.
Dragons in his spare time, doing 5v1s while composing rounds, hustling hard, I'll take it. No fatigue. He's the crown prince of Demacia,
CPD, baby.
of the league.
Know how we do.
Crown prince of D-Town, and he's king of the league.
My personality's magnetic. Blitz always gets pulled to me. When Nocturne pops his ulti, I shine bright so my whole team can see. People say I'm from the future, I must be an anachronism. Hit so hard I rock the World of Warcraft with my cataclysm. Mordekaiser's just my spare armor that I'm not wearing. I taught Lee Sin how to one-shot Jesse pairing. I outrun Kennen and hear the lightning before I even see the thunder. Even Noxians list me as their emergency contact number. Jesus walks on water, I swim through land. Moon only goes where I tell him he can. Top Pantheon, how to drop the man. Flawless victories, the Demacian standard. I'm 10 steps ahead of Swain. If I want to, I can solo mid and top lane at the same time. Come on, it's game time. Why did you feature and we're losing? What's the blame time? I got words you never heard of. I'm like a thesaurus. If Renekton's a T-Rex, then I'm a Jovinosaurus. People say Jovin, man, you're just like Chuck Norris. A man, Chuck's just like me, noob. I even got him to do the chorus.
Hey there, Jarvin.
Hey, Chuck, long time.
Hey, sorry I'm late. I had trouble parking my pterodactyl out
no
there.
worries, man.
Anywho, I'm ready to do your chorus.
Well, you know what? You're late. We're just gonna let the girl do it.
Okie dokie.
Slaying dragons in his spare time, doing 5v1s while composing.
You know that's how we do.
Hustling hard, I'll take it.
What's the team for anyway?
He's the crown prince of Demacia, and he's king of the league. Crown
CPD,
prince of
baby.
D-Town,
Yeah.
and he's king
Oh,
of the league. Jonathan Thorpe gets pentakills on twisted tree line.
When I eat corn on the cob, I don't got time to floss. Little lethal spritz at my face, and I take him like a boss.
Jobin has tiger blood and Adonis DNA.
I bet you get mad every time you look your scores up. You're nothing from D-Town, noob. Put some words up.
Dragons in his spare time, doing
Yeah, baby. That's how we do.
hustling hard.
It's D-Town over here now. Ain't no escape. Ain't no escape for y'all.
Crown prince of Demacia,
Put that in the
and he's
ring.
king of the league.
Watch that go
Crown
down.
prince of D-Town,
how we do that, baby. That's what it is. Hey, so y'all know this, right? My passive now reduces surrender time by 20 minutes, changing the tooltip.
Hey, Jarvin.
Yeah.
How come Magma Chamber ain't out yet?
Oh, Magma Chamber's ready. Don't worry. Riot's just talking to me. They want to make sure I say it's hot enough first. Yeah.
Hey, Jarvin, remember when you won that staring contest with Cassiopeia?
Yeah, I do. That was yesterday. Man, not as pretty as she used to be, not gonna lie. Straight running Valorant right now, you know what I'm saying? What is this League of Legends anyway? Should just be like a list full of me. We out, baby. Peace.
Well, Summoners and Summonettes, this is Monte Cristo, and with me is my good casting buddy, KDH.
What's going on, ladies and joins?
And as you may or may not know, KDH and I share the karma spirit bond that not even Cho'Gath can rupture.
No, nothing can rupture it. Not Cho'Gath, not Vorpal Spikes. I dare say, not even the might that is the rupture of Cho'Gath. I don't have anything new to say today.
You lost control of that joke there. You just ran it into a tree, man.
Man, I did. I just sunnied myself. I just sunny and shared myself. I ran down skiing into a tree with my joke. I'm gonna get so much hate from the trolls for that one. They're gonna be like, "Oh my God, you're the worst caster ever. You make bad jokes."
But see, since you're in Seattle and I'm in New York, man, you know, all those trolls are just going to be slowed down by the spirit bond. So watch out if you're somewhere in North America right now.
In this casting game, y'all don't even know.
You don't even know. All right, so we are in game now, you guys. We are seeing the picks and bans, excuse me, go down. Ashe being banned out against for Chaos, Cassiopeia for Reginald, and Dr. Mundo. I guess they don't want to deal with that fierce counter jungling. Odd1 did play a pretty sweet Dr. Mundo last game.
Odd1 played a deadly Mundo, so not a surprise to see that banned. And we have Rise Morgana, and we have yet to see the third ban from TSM. Looks like it's going to be Lee Sin. They're going to ban Lee Sin this game.
I guess they didn't want them to first pick that Lee Sin and cause them some problems. He is very strong right now, and Dr. Trevor picking up that Udyr. He does love himself an Udyr, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him playing that this game in top lane.
Yeah, Dr. Trevor will take him top lane, you think?
Oh, yeah. You know, he has played the Udyr top lane quite consistently throughout this tournament, and Udyr is his most played champion in ranked games, so he is quite experienced in top lane with Udyr, and Udyr is so strong in top lane right now. You know,
he is an immovable object.
He is the immovable object.
So we're gonna see Dyrus pick up that Kog'Maw for Chaos again, presumably. That's going to be it presumably will be just as deadly as it was last game.
Yeah, and you can see, you know, with that Udyr pickup, I assume I'm pretty sure that we're not going to see any more double AP comps out of Fornot. That didn't really do them a whole lot of favors, I don't think, last game. They were really unable to capitalize on the AoE at any point in time, thanks largely due to Reginald's excellent Galio play.
Yeah, that was really solid, and it doesn't look like he's going to have to pick Galio this game if he does not want. We're going to see Taric and Graves, the bot lane for Fornot, against Kog'Maw and Janna, the bot lane for TSM.
Yeah, and Taric and Graves, an interesting combination. That's not a lane that you see most of the time.
No, but I mean, it does synergize.
It does, of course.
Just not as well as some other potential lane comps.
Yeah, usually when you see Taric, you see it paired with a Caitlyn most of the time. And, you know, but the stun setting him up kind of for the buckshot will do really well if they want to do some early burst damage.
That it will. Reginald picking up Olaf, it looks like. So perhaps we'll see him. I don't know if we'll see him top or jungle. What do you think?
I think we'll see him top, and the reason why is because I think they know that Udyr is going to be top, although I have to say, if I was Fornot right now, I'd seriously consider switching over Udyr to Dan Din, just because Olaf really does a lot of damage to Udyr top lane. He's one of the few, like, I wouldn't say Udyr has any, like, super hard counters, but he does do very well against Udyr in top lane, just because of that true damage. You know, the shield can't really hold up, and Olaf just trades really, really well with Udyr.
Yeah, yes, he does. And so we're going to see Chaos pick up Nocturne, and I'm wondering if our last pick for TSM will be Twisted Fate.
I'm really... I mean, maybe. I don't think that they are going to pick up Twisted Fate, although we could see it from Kramer. But again, they've held off that mid pick until the last one. So TF from Kramer, TF doesn't do very well in lane generally, but of course with his ult, he is able to gank bottom lane repeatedly, and that's typically where you want to use him because he'll be a higher level than the bottom lane champions, and therefore more easily able to burst them down quickly and pick up on those ganks. So we're going to see, Gangplank. So maybe they will switch over now that they know that Olaf is going to be going, or they assume rather that Olaf is going to be going in top lane. Maybe they'll switch to top lane Gangplank, which is a little safer from Olaf because he doesn't have to get right into the minion wave to last hit with that, because he has that parlay. So maybe we're going to see a little bit of a switcheroo there between Dr. Trevor and Parole. But either way, we've got a lot of global ults here.
Yes, we certainly do, and I'm trying to figure out exactly what's going to be going on. This is going to be a game where no one is present, and then suddenly everyone is. And also, notice Shen has not been banned.
Oh, that is a very interesting point, although I haven't really seen...
He wasn't banned last game either.
He was not banned last game either, but none of these teams I have seen play Shen so far in this tournament, so it's possible that they're just not great Shen players. Of course, CLG versus Epic yesterday, just jumping on that Shen. And by the way, guys, you should head over to the GG Chronicle YouTube channel if you have a minute and check out CLG versus Epic Game 3. That was an extraordinary game that KDH and I cast.
That was a fantastic game.
CLG came back from an 11,000 gold deficit, and Double Lift got a pentakill on Vayne to win the game. It is worth your time to watch that game. KDH and I were going crazy for most of that game.
We were. It was a nail biter. Certainly, it went back and forth. It was the seesaw, the tempting seesaw of League of Legends.
Yeah, it was truly amazing work there from CLG to win that one. And Fornot did a great job beating CLG today. Those were some close games as well. Those VODs will be up very soon for you guys to take a look at. Again, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're going to be bringing a lot more content over there. And by the way, guys, after this game, we're going to have a special edition of the Trinity Force podcast. Trinity Force podcast is the podcast of GG Chronicle. There are official podcasts, and they include Ponophobia, who you heard, Ranert, Hornet AJC, and Auslander, and occasionally Optimus Tom. I believe he's going to be hosting the stream tonight, and we are going to get interviews of Dan Din and I believe Dyrus after this game is over, so they'll be on the podcast for a little bit. So if you guys want to hear them break down the games in a way that KDH and I just can't, because we're not in their heads, and they're a lot better than us.
Also true.
Also true. So you guys should stick around. It'll be on this stream, so you can check that out. It's a great. They do a podcast every week, usually on Tuesday nights, and release the audio version. You can look for that on GG Chronicle. So check it out. GG Chronicle is in the process of moving over to our new site with our parent site, LeagueCraft, and they recently redesigned their entire site. And if you haven't seen the new LeagueCraft yet, you really should go check it out. As KDH said, it is the Porsche of guide sites.
It certainly is. If I had a car, I would want it to be a LeagueCraft.
And yeah, they've done a really good job of smoothing out the site design. It's super easy to use, really attractive. They lighten it up, easy on the eyes. So you guys should go check that out. And KDH, this may be my last chance to talk about this Gaming.Stack Exchange contest.
Well, you should do that because it's extremely important.
Yeah. Our sponsors, guys, Gaming.StackExchange.com, do have a contest going on right now. It's a question and answer site. You head over there. You make an account, and you can put ggClassic in your profile, and you can ask or answer a question tagged under League of Legends. And at the end of the weekend, the question with the highest number of views and the answer with the highest number of upvotes will both receive a choice of a 27-inch HD TV monitor or a $350 Corsair solid-state drive. So you get a pick.
Wow.
Yeah, wow. And if you win, congratulations to you. We've had some winners. We were giving away video cards last week and gaming consoles the week before that, and we have had a bunch of winners so far. And if you put ggClassic in your profile, you will also be entered to win RP cards at random. So head on over to Gaming.Stack Exchange, take a look around. It's an awesome site, really informative, help each other out, basically learn more about League of Legends, and also your other favorite games, Mass Effect, Skyrim, really whatever, NES games. I mean, it's crazy. They've got everything. So check it out, Gaming.StackExchange.com. Thank you so much to them for allowing us to do this tournament. And you can hit us up on Twitter, GG Chronicle, at GG Chronicle on Twitter. And KDH, where can they find you in Area of Defect, your band?
They can find Area of Defect at Area of Defect Music on YouTube. You can find us at Area of Defect on Facebook, at Area of Defect on Twitter, areaofdefect.com, where you can go to purchase our album, and soon to be a lot of the other songs that we've been writing recently, a lot of the stuff we've been able to upload. You can also subscribe to my channel, Kyle Danger Hennick on YouTube, at Danger Hennick on Twitter. You can find all of the Area of Defect everything from all of those resources. Please go take a time to check us out on YouTube. It's going to be great. We just did a music video featuring CLG, St. Vicious, and Hotshot GG of CLG. I just played Jax is the title. It's a parody of Lonely Islands, I Just Had Sex. So it's a really great video. It was really professionally done by some of our really good cinematographer friends, and we're going to be having more content like that on the way. So please subscribe. Keep your eyes peeled for that. It's going to be a lot of fun.
And by the way, we were talking to Dyrus earlier. What were you talking about, KDH?
Oh, Dyrus and I were just talking about stuff. We're trying to see if we can get him to do a collab with us in a song as well. So if any of you guys feel any particular way about that, go ahead and let him know.
And you can catch Dyrus on his, IRC, Tumblr, Facebook, Twitter.
Yes.
I'm sure you guys know how to get Dyrus's attention.
He's a good guy. He's got solid play, and we look forward to this game too.
Well, and as we might say, running into this new game with the brothers, it's dinner time.
I can't believe I've never thought of that, and I feel like a noob for laughing at it so hard right now, because I'm sure everyone has already made that joke.
Everybody is face-palming right now in front of their computers.
Yeah, well, so am I, because I am the last of the party. But that's usually I'm usually the last of the party when it comes to those things. So.
Oh, well, maybe we might see an early invade here. Looks like Fornot is being a little aggressive. Oh, nope, that's
so
CV.
many things.
That's
nope.
CV. They're going to scatter like cockroaches.
We will have no such early invades, good sir, says X Special. We are warding everything. We are CVing everything. We're not going to get that early invade going on. Well, we might still. They might still go for it from a different angle. There are pings everywhere.
And I am hoping we're to see some more action-packed ganks this game. What with those global ults and all, you got to believe that's what Fornot is going for.
There are so many. I love those action-packed ganks, and there were quite a few of them last game.
There were quite a few of them last game, and we are very excited to come back into this one. This is Game 2, guys. TSM is up 1-0 in the Leaguecraft ggClassic, presented by Gaming.Stack Exchange Finals. Finals.
Hopefully not the final match. Oh, we got Parole is getting attacked by Chaos. He found him in the tri-bush down there. There was a little bit of a scuffle. Parole having to go back, and Chaos wandering around up back towards. He's going to go back as well, it looks like. So we're going to see supports bot lane duking it out for a little bit.
Yeah, while we were talking about how great your music was, we didn't note that Dandin will be playing GP in the jungle, so we are not going to see that switch. Dr. Trevor obviously feels very confident with his main champion of Udyr up against Dyrus's Olaf in top lane. We've seen a lot of Olaf this tournament, including CLG playing him twice. Hotshot was on him twice in their semifinal against Fornot earlier today. So Dr. Trevor's already played against Olaf a couple times today, so he must be feeling pretty good about that matchup.
And Broloff as well, the skin of choice for CLG. We see Dyrus throwing that axe. Dr. Trevor punching with Tiger Stance, a potion. There's an axe going down again. Dyrus is going to keep on him. Another Tiger Stance proc and another axe throwing out. So there's some potions being used. Dr. Trevor and Dyrus having some extremely potent trades.
Well, yeah, and that's like I was saying earlier. That's the issue that Udyr gets into. Trading. Dr. Trevor might just have to go ahead and level up Turtle Stance very heavily and not even try and trade here.
There's another axe. Dyrus coming back on. He's level 2 now, so he's throwing the axe. He's getting the true damage on. There's the ignite, and not quite enough of a dive to land that final true damage strike. So the ignite is busted, but Dr. Trevor has lost all 3 of his health potions, and Dyrus right now still has 2 left, and he's going to keep being aggressive.
Well, he knows that ignite's down now, so it's less of a danger, but he's got to keep very close to his turret there, and also keep away from those axes so Dyrus can't pick it up and throw it a couple more times. I mean, this is an interesting circumstance, but he has got his turtle stance now, so he will be able to trade a little bit better and kind of stay in there. Meanwhile, the odd one just tearing up his own jungle, and same with Dandin, so not really any strong counter jungling, although we wouldn't expect that as much from either Nocturne or GP as we would from Mundo from last game. And of course, TSM has a global ult on Nocturne as well, so this should be probably an exciting match just based on the team comps of the selections.
We're going to see a lot of jumping around, a lot of action. It's going to be like that song, the one with you know, the small world after all.
What?
With all the Man, I'm just not. Sometimes they're not funny, and that's today for me. Dyrus is taking some tower hits up there, trying to get in on Dr. Trevor. His true damage is getting rather potent right now. We have bot lane, Kaox and X Special have Parole and Bloodwater pushed, but we're seeing a lot of damage go down on X Special, and he's going to tornado, and he's been ignited. He's got to pop a couple of potions there to keep himself alive.
And Dandin coming for a gank on top on Dyrus. He's going to pop that ghost.
Dyrus is ghosted. He's been ignited. Dandin has shot him with Parlay, and it looks like he's going to hang out a little bit longer just to see if Dyrus will come back.
Yeah, well, he is. Wow, we have a lot of damage, and Reginald getting first blood on Kramer in mid lane.
Yes, Reginald getting that first blood by the skin of his teeth on that one. He was ignited and he's almost gone, but he manages to get away with that first blood, and that's going to be a lot. That's going to be a big difference in that mid lane matchup now.
Yeah,
Reginald going back with 1,200 gold, enough for his Hex Tech, so he's going to be picking that up on his way back to lane.
And Odd1 just doing a little drive-by with Smite on that Wraith. He's going to pick it up from Dandin.
Dandin there, he's gonna uppercut him with his arm blades a couple of times, and so Dandin going to be a little bit lower out of that. Also getting Odd1 picking up his Blue Wraith, as you said.
Yeah, and he's not going to be able to duel very effectively with Odd1 because Odd1 has already gone back and has picked up Ninja Tabi, so he's not going to have a lot of luck there. And wow, we had 3 lanes all very, very close and low right there, you know, from Xpecial and top lane, and also Parole and Bloodwater both being pretty low and hugging that turret, so very close. That first blood could have gone down on any of those lanes, on any of those teams. Pretty exciting.
It was a pretty, this is the action-packed game we've been hoping for.
Yeah, everyone's on tenterhooks.
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 That's good.
So Dyrus has gone back, looks like. He's picked up a Doran's Blade. It looks like he's going to be building just a little more lifesteal and tankiness before he moves into picking up a Wriggles, which I assume what he's going to do, but we'll have to wait and see. Maybe he's got a different build than what Hotshot has been using so far this tournament.
And Dr. Trevor has picked up a Vamp Scepter, so it's going to be a lot easier for him to stay in lane. Dyrus, even with that true damage, is not really putting out as much hurt as he'd like, I don't think, on Dr. Trevor, but he is able to just get in and stay in. And that's something that Olaf is really good at. Dyrus is just being very aggressive and not letting Dr. Trevor's turtle stance dissuade him from just continuing the assault.
Yes, and as predicted, you know, Dr. Trevor has had to put 3 points in that turtle stance early, so he's given up on trading pretty much. That's what that means, is that he's just trying to farm back at his turret, be safe, keep his life up with that Vamp Scepter, and just try and dodge those undertows, and hopefully not to get too close to take that true damage.
And he's doing a decent job of it as well. I mean, you see him now, he has 30 CS, Olaf has 43 CS, so he's doing the best he can. He's farming very well under turret, and he's making sure he can stay up in HP as he's doing right there.
That's right. And just some more passive laning right now. Kramer has hit 6, though, so we might be seeing some sort of gank pretty soon, especially considering how far Kaox and Xpecial have pushed.
And Dandin is on his way to 6 as well. He's about 1/4 of a level 2, level 6 right now. So we're gonna momentarily in a few minutes we're gonna see some pretty amazing play.
Indeed, and looks like Parole got pretty far down there somehow versus the Kog'Maw and Janna of Xpecial and Kaox in bottom lane, but he is just going to blue pill and go back. Bloodwater going back as well, picking up boots, and not a whole lot going on so far, guys. It looks like TSM does have about an 800 gold advantage at this point.
An Odd1 has hit 6, so he's going to be ready for that when that comes into play.
Yeah, indeed, and just again, some more passive laning. And here we have Reginald going in, but Kramer's not having any of that. He's just going to dodge back and not let the Odd1 come in on him. The Odd1 has hit 6, so that could have been a bad situation if Kramer hadn't just dodged out of there and played passively against Reginald.
And Odd1 now going back to his jungle, probably looking to pick up his red before he makes a gank attempt. And we have Kramer. Kramer is going towards bottom lane. Nope, he's going to loop back around to mid, so it looked like we might have seen a gank out of that.
Well, I guess he decided it wasn't the best idea, and I'm not sure Bloodwater. It looks like Bloodwater was just going to go up there and ward, and then head back to lane. So, not surprising, I suppose, that we see Fortnite playing passively, considering they are down a game so far, and they are down just a tad bit due to that first blood and some superior CS from TSM at this stage.
Yep. The TSM, the CS scores right now. We have Olaf at 55. Kennen at 62, Kog'Maw at 72, and Nocturne at 49, whereas we have Udyr at 56, Gangplank at 39, we have Graves at 59, and TF at 56. So TSM again up in CS, but just barely overall.
Just barely, that's true. But, those advantages do turn into something over time. With those 11 kills up, you might as well say, Kog'Maw Chaos here is nearly a kill up, really, on this Graves with that CS difference.
Yeah, and he's got his ultimate now, so he's just been spitting a little bit, trying to keep that wave back as Janna wards up in the river.
And it looks like Bloodwater just checking those bushes. He looks like he's playing very cautiously, just trying to make sure that Nocturne isn't going to be coming down from a gank. And if you notice for a second where Bloodwater has chosen to ward this game, he has chosen to ward both the entrances of the jungle. And the reason why is because once Nocturne hits 6, a ward right at the mouth of the river here isn't going to be doing a whole lot.
TF teleporting top to help gank Dyrus. Dyrus popping Ragnarok to make sure he doesn't get hit with that stun. And that was really well played by Dyrus. That could have been curtains had he not been so quick on his ultimate.
Yeah, I kind of question the wisdom of coming in with TF with the gold card against an Olaf.
Reginald going in with Odd One in mid. They're going to take out Dan Din. Reginald's going to pick up that kill with Odd One's help, and that's going to be 2-0 TSM.
Yeah, Reginald's play looking really good today. He really knows his limits. And Dyrus going to go down top lane as Kramer stuck around, and they managed to corner him. Not particularly, I don't think, good positioning for Dyrus right there, unfortunately for TSM.
Yeah, but fortunately, we have Nocturne. Odd One's getting jumped in mid by Parole and Bloodwater. He's got double buff, but he's going to have to flash. He's exhausted. We have him getting out, but just barely. A bunch of people going in on a bunch of lanes. Reginald's coming back in. He's going to land a stun on Parole. Odd One's going to come back in. Parole's going to have to flash. Reginald getting very, very low. Janna coming with the shield and the heal just to make sure the Ignite doesn't take Kennen out. So really well played by X Special, and Parole's going to have to dash out. Odd One almost being able to run back in there and get another kill. So a whole bunch of action really quickly here in this game.
That's right, and if you notice, look at this tower top lane. It is going to be pushed down by those minions, and great play by both Trevor and Kramer in order to know that those minions were going to take it, so they could get just a few more seconds, just a little bit of an advantage there in order to go back just a tad bit quicker and still get that global gold. And
yeah, really well played by Trevor and Kramer up top.
And guess what? With that turret down, it's a 300 gold game.
Yep, and these teams showing that no one is down and out, nothing's going to phase them. They're just getting in, doing all the work that they know how to do, and it's going to be an exciting match from here on out.
For sure, hopefully Bloodwater has stabilized his internet connection somewhat, and he will be here for the remainder of this game because Fortnite really showing what they're made of without that early disconnect. And
definitely,
they are looking very impressive. And for their, coming up into this tournament with 32 teams, 8 invited teams, including teams like CLG, they've done a wonderful job. Fortnite's road to get here has not been easy. They had to beat MTWNA, formerly known as Goose. They had to beat CLG. I mean, that's hard.
Yeah, it's not an easy feat. Fortnite doing very, very well in this tournament, going all the way to the finals. Massive kudos to them. And, they're doing a great job, really showing their stuff, and even giving TSM a run for their money.
And it looks like we have Fortnite prepping for a dragon here. They're going to go to Pink Ward and take out TSM's Pink Ward. I don't know how safe this is with both Kennen and Nocturne in mid lane, but they're just going to go ahead and check it out, put some wards down in the river, and looks like
we have Dan Din and Bloodwater going in mid lane there. We also have Dyrus and Dr. Trevor happening up top. There's so much going on. We have Reginald popping ultimate, try and save some people. Kramer is teleported down into the river for the dragon fight. Dan Din putting down ultimate, Graves landing on ultimate. Dan Din's going to pick up the odd one, and it looks like we're going to see Janna, X Special's going to ult to get people out of there. Reginald taking a lot of damage. He's going to stick around, though. We're not going to see anyone else go down, perhaps on TSM side, I don't think, but Chaos is going to pick up Bloodwater. So that was a really, really, really interesting engagement there in the river as both teams pick up a kill.
Wow, I'm surprised that there was only one kill on each side. Both teams, really knew their limits, had great positioning throughout that team fight, and even though Dan had a spectacular gangplank ult, and we see some more tussling up in top lane as Dr. Trevor's chasing Dyrus down, and he has to use Undertow and Ghost. Wow, he burned Ghost there. I wonder if that was a mistake, because Trevor wasn't chasing him.
No, I think Dyrus must have done that on accident, because now Dr. Trevor is just pushing up the lane. He's going to heal up with that turtle stance. Dyrus going back now.
Yeah, and I imagine he knew that Udyr's flash wasn't up, because I assume Udyr used it up in his lane earlier, and another pink ward going down, so they're going to clear. It's the battle of the pink wards at Dragon currently, and they are...
Looks like TSM's going to go for this one.
Yeah, they are going to go for Dragon, and there's not, given their positioning, there's not anything Fortnite's going to be able to do to stop it. So the balance of gold, the balance of power...
Although here comes Kramer, and Parole and Bloodwater are going to come in and try to stop them. Reginald getting ignited, Bloodwater not being able to put out the rest of it. Odd One's going to fear Bloodwater, and they're going to take him down as well as Dragon.
Wow, Reginald escaping a couple times this game with just a sliver of health. Bad luck for Fortnite, great luck for TSM for him to get out of these ganks and get out of these duels that he's been having, especially with Kramer as TF in mid lane.
This has been a hey Karthus press R sort of game.
It sure has.
So far for Fortnite and TSM. Everyone just getting out with slivers of HP, but Kramer pushing mid turret now. If they're going to get Dragon, he's going to do something about it.
And we have more dueling. This top lane has just turned into a meat grinder with Dyrus and Dr. Trevor just punching each other repeatedly, and Trevor's going to flash in. He really wants this kill.
Yes, he does. Dyrus getting ignited, and he got Tiger Stance proc, but he's going to be able to pop ultimate and get out.
And that's what happens when you don't check your opponent's inventory and you don't see that they have level 2 boots. He tried a little bit too hard, I think, to secure that kill, but Dyrus has those boots of lucidity, and he's got Janna on his team, which is going to give him a little bit of an advantage in terms of that move speed.
That gives him the bump. He has 418 movement speed. Dr. Trevor is getting attacked by Reginald top lane, and Reginald's going to flash, and he's going to pick up a kill there. Reginald came top, and we saw him coming top as we sort of disengaged from the Dyrus affair there. But Reginald followed him all the way to turret, managed with that red buff to pick up or he didn't have red buff, I don't think. Did he? I don't know.
He did have red buff, actually.
He did have it before the fight. Okay,
before
so
the
he
fight.
managed with the red buff.
Yeah, he was trying to slow down Dyrus with that red buff. Which is why he probably made that decision in order to flash. And by the way, the Dyrus affair sounds like a great name of a spy movie.
It does. Either that or a punk band. Maybe that'll be the name of my Whitesnake cover band when I make one, the Dyrus Affair.
Yeah, there might be also some summonettes out there wanting a Dyrus Affair.
Indeed, there might. I mean, maybe even some summoners. I don't judge.
We don't judge at all. Anything's cool.
ggC is a place free of judgment.
And Kramer just sitting here in mid, taking up some extra farm, and it looks like we still only have a 2,000 gold game, which at a little under 20 minutes here, 17-minute mark. It's still anybody's game.
It certainly is. Anything can happen, and anyone can come out the victor. We have Reginald looking at Kramer down there, wondering if he's getting the CS, and it looks like he is going to take those wraiths. Dyrus going back top. Dr. Trevor on his way back up there as well. And Odd One sort of hanging out in mid, being spooky.
And check out that Kennen build. Looks like he's going Abyssal Scepter first, so he can win his lane even harder. And
that looks a lot like Scar's Mordekaiser build.
It does, yeah, a little bit. It does for sure. And the Reginald. Look at him. He's 3-0-2 right now. Guess how many kills that TSM has?
TSM has 5 kills.
That's what you call MVP there. Reginald has controlled this map, been in all of the lanes, created all the situations really, and he is causing a lot of problems with this Kennen.
Oh, here we go. Dan and Kramer coming in to try and get Reginald off the tower, but it doesn't look like Dan Din's gonna have to flash out. Does not look like something that they're gonna be able to do as Dyrus comes in to help. TSM secures mid tower.
And Parole, wow, getting really hard heel baited in bottom lane by Chaos and X Special. He got blown up, I think, by that. No, Janna's Monsoon is still up, so he just got totally heel baited. We see some more fighting. Reginald and Dr. Kramer going on.
Oh man, it looks like Kramer dodging that shuriken. He's going to throw a blue card and get the ignite down with some wild cards. Maybe, hopefully, we'll take out Reginald. He will get that ignite kill. So Reginald finally goes down. Now he's 4-1-2. That's going to be a great spree for pardon me. For Kramer. He's going to pick up a death cap on his way back to base now.
Yeah, and by the way, that was so close for Reginald to live through that, and that's what that Abyssal Scepter can do for you. You know, getting that early can really help you stay alive and secure those kills if you're going to be dueling against your mid lane opponent. And we have been seeing that a bit on Ahri, too. That's been a kind of popular build on Ahri as well.
Yeah, and Ahri, a very strong duelist in mid lane and anywhere else, frankly.
Yeah, well, let's take a look real quick at what the Magic Pen... Oops, that is not the champion I want. Reginald, hi.
Chaos taking the blue turret down in bot lane. Not a whole lot Perol can do about that.
Yeah, his spell penetration's up at 29 right now. With the between the Sork Shoes and the Abyssal Scepter, it'll actually be at around 49 for the champions that he chooses to target around him.
Wow, and that's a lot. That's a lot, especially this early in the game.
Yeah, especially this early in the game when not many people are going to have heavy MR items, and in fact, nobody on 4-Not has any MR items except for a Merc Tread on Gangplank. That's problematic.
yes, indeed. I was looking at Udyr and I was like, he has Ninja Tabi. No, but Gangplank does in fact have Merc Treads, so that is
sorry,
that
you're
is
right.
not a good
Udyr
state
has
of
Merc
affairs.
Treads too. So we have the two champions, but you know when you kind of fed Reginald and he has been farming very effectively as well. He is up on farm on TF. You are going to, you know, you have to build a little magic resist in order to counter him, and I imagine that'll be what they plan on doing in a little bit here. I can't imagine they're going to do that much longer, but especially that Abyssal Scepter is just giving Reginald a huge advantage on Kennen right now, and he's going to be able, his AoE is going to do massive damage to 4-Not.
Well, Kramer right now does have a considerable bit of AP. He's got 254 with that Rabadon's death cap. Reginald only has 146, but again, you mentioned the penetration is pretty supreme.
That's right, and you know he's probably going for, in the team fights, he'll be going more for that AoE with his ult as opposed to, you know, a single target focus, and that's really going to help him do a lot more damage when it comes time to fight as a 5-man and keep him alive too. And it looks like we're going to see a tower go down, so the lead again shrinks to under 3,000 gold.
Yeah, and it's anybody's game at this point still, and we see the Dragon Dance about to occur as Chaos walks in, takes out a ward with the pink ward there that TSM has laid in front of Dragon.
That's right, and looks like they're going to back off for now. They're not fully confident, especially with Dyrus top lane. They don't know where Dr. Trevor is right now. And look at the ward coverage, actually, looking pretty good for 4-Not up in top jungle. They know exactly what's going on. Dyrus is going to come. I wonder if we're going to see him get got by
I think
Dr.
we might.
Trevor.
Din and Dr. Trevor coming in. We're going to see the parlay. We're going to see the bear stun. Dyrus is going to have to, I don't know if he's popped. He popped ultimate there, and he's going to be able to make it out okay. Reginald taking some shots from Kramer, and 4-Not in the distraction is going to be able to pick up that mid turret.
Yeah, nice play there by Perol. You know, he's taking advantage of TSM being a little bit out of position in these lanes in order to pick up some global objectives.
Gangplank ultimate going down. I'm not sure. Nope. Okay.
No, they don't want to engage that right now. You know, blood water is going to be a little bit too low. And they just did get 2 towers for their efforts. So really nice distraction there by 4-Not.
Definitely, certainly. Well played by both teams there as TSM is about to come in and take Dragon.
Yeah, so again, you know, we have seen it shrink to under 2K now. It'll go back up to about 3K once this Dragon goes down, unless they can take this second top turret. It looks like Dr. Trevor is going to take advantage of the fact that they're all on the bottom side of the map in order to farm up and maybe do some damage to this turret with his buddies Graves and Gangplank.
Yeah, I definitely think if the 3 of them can make it there before anyone on TSM shows up, they can certainly take it. I mean, X Special's there, but I don't think that's enough to deter them. We see the odd one ulting. I'm not sure where he's going. He's going mid lane right now, and him and Reginald are going to pick up the kill on Kramer, who I'm not sure if he was trying. He did ult, so they were preventing him from getting out of there. Really well played in mid, but we're going to see 4-Not take out the second top turret.
You know, and honestly, that was worth it. You know, using that Nocturne ult so that Nocturne can no longer chase them down effectively. Kennen's flash is now down, so he's not going to be able to catch up as effectively either.
His ult is down as well.
His ult is down as well. So, you know, if they can get out of here alive, you know, that trade for that turret is definitely going to be worth that TF death.
A nice bear stance punch there onto Reginald to stop him from reaching, and we have 4-on-3 on the turret. Kennen going in. Perol not is taking advantage of that stun. Chaos is taking on a turret. In the meantime, we're going to see Dyrus get exhausted and ignited onto the turret, and he's doing a lot of damage. Perol's going to be able to pick him up. X Special coming in just a little bit too close and almost also getting picked up, but really well played there by 4-Not. not losing anyone and getting that kill on Dyrus in that unfortunate tower dive.
Yeah, I mean, even though they did use that exhaust and that Taric stun on an ulting Olaf, which is a bit of a misplay there, but it's kind of one of those things where you react to that champion that's charging down your AD carry.
Sure.
And they did at least force that ult out of him, so they won't have it up for just a little bit. But Chaos taking down that bottom turret, so we just saw TSM do exactly the same thing to Fornot that they just did to TSM in order to take down a couple of towers.
The gold lead only 2k at this point, 2.5, 2.5k at this point. So again, the pendulum swing is in full effect.
Yeah, and really it's been pretty stagnant. They're doing even trades here, so we haven't seen any kind of true advantage develop so far. Who do you think has a better kind of late game team comp?
Well, I mean, Olaf and Kog'Maw late game are both extremely brutal. Kennen's damage tends to fall off just a bit in late game. His CC is still very strong. Janna, of course, very good at disengagement. If you look, we have speaking of engagements, we've got a little something going on in top jungle. Meanwhile, Graves, a really strong late game carry as well. Gangplank is a huge problem late game, and Udyr, of course, is an immovable object in lane, but late game ends up being just a tank. They have most of their late game damage comes from these two bruisers and their AD carry. So it's really anyone's guess. I think if anything, Fornot has a slightly stronger late game comp than TSM, but I don't know. It's going to come down to positioning more than anything else, I think, in the late game.
Yeah, I agree. It's going to come down to whether they can get back to that Kog'Maw or not. And the brutal thing about Olaf with Ghost is he's just going to run back at that Graves every single time.
Speaking of, we're going to see a lot of stuff going on. We're going to see Bloodwater taking the full brunt of TSM. Dan Din in there ulting, not able to do a whole lot but flash out from his ultimate. TSM had that, as I said, positioning earlier. They knew that stuff was going to go down in that bush. They had a feeling that everyone was there. They had some ward coverage, and it looks like they came out on top of that. We're going to see the blue buff get taken. Chaos is going to take a lot of damage from Kramer. I don't think it's going to be enough to kill him, and he's going to get barely with any help. There's a Kennen ultimate. Kramer's going to get Reginald, and Olaf is going to pick up Graves. Graves also picking up Olaf, and it looks like Odd One's going to pick up Gangplank. Udyr's picking up Kog'Maw. Kramer's following Odd One in. Udyr is chasing in with him. There's the stun, and I think, Dr. Trevor picking up the Odd One. So the end of that result, Janna being the only one left alive on TSM, it's a 2-for-4 trade. Really well played by Fornot to just sort of not give up in that engagement that looked pretty abysmal for them.
Yeah, they're definitely not going to be able to do Baron right now. I'm not sure what exactly they were thinking about that. With Udyr's build, he does have that Wriggles, which will help him a little bit. But when he's at such low life and Kramer not really having very much mana either, that's going to be a rough deal. So they're not going to be able to pick that up this time around. But we'll see who gets it in the long run. And now again, we only have like a 1.5 gold difference. So Fornot is gaining ground.
Yep, and that was a really, really well done. That was a really well done engagement by both teams. I mean, TSM really got the jump on Fornot in that bush, that little Nike swoosh bush there, and they got that advantage and managed to make that team fight tip in their favor. And Fornot just not being deterred, coming back in at that blue buff, snagging them as they tried to get a little greedy by stealing blue and just really turning that around. So really well played by both teams.
Yeah, and I'm sure his team was a little bit frustrated that they had to blow that Gangplank ult trying to save Bloodwater when he face-checked that bush. And that bush, I don't think they could see any of TSM right there. So that had a bush that had a dude potential of 5 in it, I think.
Yes.
I'll have to go check the replay and take a second look at that. But, it's a little bit frustrating to have teammates do that. But it all turned out gravy in the long run as that fight, even without that Gangplank ult, went in Fornot's favor. So nice job there by Fornot to pick it up. And you have to wonder if they can do that with GP's ult down, what they might be able to do with GP's ult up.
Yeah, it's only going to get more and more dangerous from here on out. We have Janna to get rid of some of the AoE, to get rid of the melee champions that Gangplank and Udyr are going to turn into in the late game. But, it's going to be anyone's guess as to who manages to. It's all going to be about positioning and who could strike the first blow. I get the feeling that a Baron engagement is really going to make the difference, and we see a Baron engagement about to potentially happen right now.
Oh no! And Dr. Trevor just went back to base. He just blue pilled with full life. I wonder what he's getting. I didn't see the last item that he picked up. He's got
He's picking up a Warden's Nail. He's almost got a Randuin's Omen.
Well, it looks like he's dead set on going after that Kog'Maw, so he's going to run back there and try and Randuin's the whole team.
Yep, and if anyone can do it, Udyr and Olaf both have the same function in these team fights: chase down the carry.
And Nocturne too. I mean, this is a funny game because I have a feeling that we're going to end up with some team fights here where only the bruisers are left alive and all carries are dead.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's going to happen. Here we go. TSM Dyrus throwing that axe. The odd one being in the middle of the lane. So we have all of Fornot and all of TSM just hugging this middle lane. We know Baron's close. We know it's up. We know somebody's going to try to get it at some point. And TSM is the only one with the ward in this bush thanks to Janna's oracles. So we have Fornot now sort of peeling off towards bot. I don't know exactly why, but there's a TF ultimate. So the Baron is not going to be able to go down because we have full vision of your entire team.
Yeah, and you have to look at the job X-Special has done of warding all the way around in this arc around Baron Pit. That's really confusing the hell out of Fornot, and they're playing very tentatively because they don't have vision thanks to X-Special's Oracle. So really good job there of warding up and clearing wards from the support on TSM.
But there's 2 wards going down in that bush now. Double the ward, double your fun. And we have all of TSM and all of Fortnite right around Baron at this point. Everyone's doing the dance. You can dance if you want to. You can leave your Baron behind, which is what they're doing right now. They're leaving their Baron behind and going off to different lanes as Fornot goes, hey, we're closer to your turret than you are, and we're going to push middle lane a whole bunch right now. A really interesting play by Fornot, just pushing right up middle lane as all of TSM is going to come and sandwich them in between their turret and their team. So here's an inevitable engagement. Udyr going in. We have Gangplank busting his Wraith Moira and his ultimate to try and get people to back off just a little bit. Nocturne diving Kramer, and he's going to be stuck in the middle of everyone. Dyrus running in, going straight in on a Parole. We're going to see a lot of CCs, a lot of Ignite. Dyrus is going to pick up Parole. There's a Reginald ultimate. Kramer's going to pick up Olaf. Kennan's going to pick up Kramer. We're going to see Kennan also pick up Bloodwater. And Dan Din and Dr. Trevor are going to back out. So ultimately in that team fight, that's a 3-for-1 trade. Almost 3-for-2, but the odd one managed to get out with his life. So TSM tipping the scales back in their favor. A risky move by Fornot, and it looks like TSM's going to go for Baron off of that, or maybe not. We're going to loop around and try and get Dan Din in his blue buff first, I think.
Yeah, with both Udyr and Gangplank up and no meat shield in front of them, it might actually be hard for them to get Baron. But they are going to go ahead and take that blue buff as both teams kind of respond. They're going to go for Baron, looks like.
Yeah, it looks the pings are going down. I mean, the odd one is back and his health is up. We have Udyr and Gangplank now, and I'm not really sure. It looks like they're backing off. And X-Special going back to base now.
Yep, and nope, we're not going to see any more Baron attempts for the moment, I don't think. And Dyrus did a really great job of chasing both Parole and Kramer off. I think they have to coordinate a little bit better, because once the Olaf ult and Ghost goes down and he starts running into your back line, Parole and Kramer really have to talk to each other. They have to split. They can't both run the same direction like they did in that fight. And granted, they didn't have a lot of options considering that they got forced against the turret. But by the way, guys, by taking down that extra turret, we are seeing, that 3 gold game still. I mean,
still only 3K difference.
It's still very, very close.
I mean, and like you said, Monty, with that ultimate, Dyrus checking Baron with an axe now. Dyrus can just go bro deep into Fornot's line and literally undeterred, because 2 ignites were busted on him, I think, in that engagement, and they did pick him up, but not before he was able to help both carries get taken down. So, as you're saying, they have to split. They can't let Dyrus get them both, because if he does, it's going to really cripple Fornot in a team fight.
Yes, that it will for sure. So, again, we just have some more passive farming happening as we move into the late game here. We are at 32 minutes, and 32 minutes, still a 3K gold difference, and that is not much at this stage.
No, it is not. 3K gold is almost irrelevant at this point in the game. We see Udyr, he's now got a Randuin's, a Fromal, he's got a Wriggles, and he's got a Negatron Cloak to complement his Murktread. So he is just super tanky.
Yeah, that's right. And look at Dan Din. Looks like he's going to be building Glacial Shroud, and I assume that's going to be going into Frozen Heart. And they're really worried about Chaos on this late game Cosma.
Well, and they should be, because, you know, Chaos last game did a bunch of damage to them. Chaos in this game is doing a bunch of damage. His build is identical to what it was last game. And Kog'Maw just does so much damage all the time. And if you can't get to him and you can't take him down, his range is superb. And as we've seen Chaos do, his positioning is so great that when he gets dropped to almost nothing, he doesn't leave. He sits there and artilleries people. So he's still contributing to the team fight, even with no HP left.
And Dyra's picking up a Randuin's as well, so, you know, both teams kind of building for to neuter the late game.
And here it comes, the TSM doing Baron, the Gangplank ultimate goes down. Baron is going to get stopped for the moment as Reginald goes in on Bloodwater. Udyr is there, Dr. Trevor getting jumped on by Nocturne. Kennen ultimate does go down. Kramer is going to take out a turret in the meantime. Parole going in, just shooting Reginald. There's a Randuin's being popped. Dr. Trevor is going to go down, but so is Kennen. We're going to see Nocturne pick up Parole, and it looks like the end of that team fight is 3 down on 4-Not and only 1 down on TSM. And it looks like Odd One, Dyrus, and X Special are still going to go for Baron. Dan Din now left with few options. Kog'Maw and TF doing a dance up in bottom lane. Kramer pushed all the way in. He managed to almost get an inhibitor. I mean, he didn't do very much damage to it, but he got the inhibitor exposed. And now we have Kramer and Kog'Maw now. Kog'Maw cleanses out of the gold card, and he's just going to do a bunch of damage. He's going to be able to pick up Kramer there. And Baron is not being done. Still, it looks like Dan Din was able to do enough of a distraction, but here comes Chaos now to help out with Baron. So we might see TSM pick this up.
Oh, I think we will. You know, Bloodwater and Dan Din are not going to be able to do anything against these 4 champions. And GP looks like he's going to raise morale. I don't think my morale would be very high if I was running
No,
into...
but he does want to try and Smite Steal, and they're going to stop doing Baron for the moment so that he can't get it with Smite. Really good play there by CLG. The gold lead now increased to about 5K almost. So a little bit of an advantage, and that Baron buff going down. So that's going to cause some problems.
You know, honestly, 5K still at 35 minutes, you know, not insurmountable odds. This game is by no means over, and it really depends on how these teams engage. Last fight, we saw them come split in around that blue buff, and that was really a mistake on 4-Not's part. You know, they have to, with the Olaf and the Nocturne, you know, they really have to have their meat shield in front. They're not going to really be able to do some sort of pincher attacks with their team comp because they need to protect their carries from this like ulting Olaf. So the more of a line of people they can put in front to at least kind of path block him, the better it's going to be. And I mean, that's just kind of how it is.
Yeah.
And
I mean, and Olaf and Kennen at the same time, you know, it's particularly dangerous because they both dive straight into your team. And Olaf goes for your carries, and Kennen just makes sure he gets as many people as possible. All of a sudden, what parts of your team are not totally stunned are being attacked by Olaf.
And also slowed at this point now that he has that Rylai's, which makes it even harder. But, you know, they really have to rely, I think, on Dan Din's ult to split TSM at this point. I think that's really... they have to wait for a good GP ult, a cannon barrage, and then, you know, kind of commit to a fight.
Definitely. And we see now Chaos has a Vamp Scepter and a Zeal, so it looks like he's building into another Phantom Dancer, and eventually I would presume a Bloodthirster, as the Baron TSM is now pushing straight down mid lane.
And by the way, I'd like to point out that Graves now has his Last Whisper, and that's going to make a big difference.
Yes, it is.
Graves with Last Whisper late game, you know, that's kind of, in late game, once you have Graves, you know, that's kind of the key item that really allows you to turn the game around. I mean, like, it's like once you pick it up, you can do so much more damage, you know, because you've been waiting to get your Phantom Dancer, your Zeal, and your IE, and it's at that point that you can finally once more counter. Ooh, we're gonna see blood. Ooh, that's...
Yeah, Chaos picking up Bloodwater there in that mid lane. Just all the damage from an almost insurmountable range. Kog'Maw now has hit that point in the game where he's starting to do really, really mean things. spitting over the wall and just doing all sorts of horrible things to Kramer without even being even remotely close. Odd One just going in on the turret. TSM, there's a Gangplank ultimate, and we see Dr. Trevor coming around and nab Chaos, who's still going to be able, Kennan's still going to be able to ult, Chaos is going to be able to sit back and plink away, Odd One's going to pick up that kill, Reginald is going to pick up a kill on Parole, Chaos is going to pick up Kramer, and Dan Din's going to end up going down again. That is an ace for TSM, and ladies and gentlemen, I think the ggClassic is over. TSM going 2-0 in the end of this series, getting that really well done ace at the end, and we're going to see the Nexus fall. TSM, the champions of the league, the first Leaguecraft ggClassic.
Amazing. Great play throughout this tournament. Really nice finals that we saw right there, and a really exciting and close final match.
Really well played by both teams.
And congratulations for 4-0 through making this through this tournament. I don't think I would have picked, or I don't think many people would have picked them to get this far, but now that they've got their new jungler in Dan Din, you know, they've been performing extraordinarily well, did beat CLG earlier today. So guys, we are going to switch over the stream real quick in just a few minutes so you guys can hear some interviews with these players, and we can get them online and onto the Trinity Force podcast. So we're going to go ahead and set that up for you. So bear with us. Again, thanks guys for watching. You can find GG Chronicle at ggc.leaguecraft.com or ggchronicle.com, and you can find my co-partners band Area of Defect. Where can they find you, buddy?
They can find us on Area of Defect Music on YouTube, Area of Defect on Facebook, at Area of Defect on Twitter, and areaofdefect.com.
That's right. So that'll be it for us tonight. We're going to be switching over to Optimus Tom, and we're going to get some of these players in interviews right now, and we will be back with you shortly.
Yes, we will.
So see you guys. Thanks a lot for watching. It's been a great ride. Cheers.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Sometimes a champion gets remade, and it ends up being no surprise that he's back.
I just played Jack, and I carry the game. The other team let me put my Lambos inside them. I just played Jack, dodged all their auto attacks. Can't believe 20 minutes went by so fast.
Have you ever played Jax? I have. I did great. I have to admit, I was skeptical at first, but now I'm platinum ranked. It literally just happened. Playing Jax can make the pro player out the worst.
When they took Dodge out the game, I thought Jack would be unplayable. I love him so much, I knit his face into crochetable. Killed Rammus, Raj, and Chen, then I killed Graves and I killed Darren. All I had was Ninja Tabi, but I went and solo Baron.
You'll never guess what I just did. I played Jack, swapped my lamppost for a cardboard tube. I went to pack, TF tried to go top, but I told him to deal, cause I'm like hotshot up there, real.
I just played Jack, and I carried the game. The other team let me put my Lambos inside them. Talk shit and all Jack.
I'm like a Mario brother, I jump on everybody's head.
Jump on the ass.
You mean like this?
Oh, wow, she's dead.
I can take a fishing pole to battle. I don't need a knife.
That good?
The best 20 minutes of my life.
Whenever I play Jax, it's a moment to be cherished. You're the opposite of canned goods, likely to perish. Forget the Second Amendment, my Counter-Strike will disarm me. A lamp will send you back to base, just like the children back to Narnia.
So this one's dead.